Where addictions come from is actually the appetite, what you have been doing with your soul and your body before your spirit man was reborn. That is where addictions come from. So let me give you a few definitions. This is introductory class to it. All right, don't forget what I said. To be addicted is to be hooked. It is when something is holding you down longer than you want to stay. That's what it means to be addicted. Now, it is very important that you understand how addictions form so you can know how to come out. So I want to give us a background. How do they form? How do we form addictions? Now, as I made my research on these different forms of addiction, we're going to pick them one by one. I discovered that most people develop certain habits within certain age range. Okay? That is, you are more likely to be prone to certain habits within certain age range. Most times they are formed early through wrong exposure. Wrong exposure. Okay? So, children, teenagers, they are more prone to developing certain habits as a way of escaping the challenges of their own reality. So what people do is that you create a reality that is an escape. Okay? That's how they are formed. That's the first way. Number two, most addictions are formed when people are in their lowest moment. Please note that. They are formed when people are in their lowest moment. All right? Look at this. When you go through your lowest moment in life, what you have is pain. Maybe the moment of divorce, moment of isolation, moment of depression. Somebody has just lost a job, somebody has just lost a child, somebody has just lost this. That moment where you hit your all-time low. What happens is that you start looking for a way to escape the reality of that feeling. Okay? And to escape the reality of that feeling, there is a cave system that people can now crawl into as a way of escaping the reality. It happens when there's isolation. Are you following what I'm saying here? It's a cave system. Somebody is sad, but he doesn't want to think about it, then escape into something. That thing you are escaping into becomes a hand that holds you longer than you want to stay. Do you know that that's how people even develop phone addictions? You see a couple talking, and if the man does not want, what the woman is saying is simple. And women, please, you need to understand this. As men, we may have 6 packs, but we fear you guys. I think the most the most devastating, not devastating thing you can tell a man that can shake his foundation is, I need to talk to you. Particularly when you are not smiling. Babe, we need to talk. The guy start thinking, would it be that? Okay, then he comes. And when you are talking, as a way of not giving all the attention so that thing will not eat him too much, he needs to deflect it. It's just like falling from a building. There's a way you fall, your spine will crack. Okay, so you want to share the weight. So people share weight of life issues on other things, so it can be deflected there. Then you see pressing phone. Say, babe, I'm talking, so I have ears, I can hear you. I'm not just pressing phone, I'm doing something, I'm talking with a business partner. No, you are escaping. And if care is not taken, it's a way to escape the reality of this life. You're right. So things are going on, you don't want to feel the heat. Social media, and as much as they are creating all these social media platforms, all these things, they are good, but they are also dangerous, because you will develop a life outside of natural human interactions. If care is not taken, you come to a point where you can no longer relate with people. Some of the leading cause of erectile dysfunction is pornography. Pornography. Escaping to it. Okay? And then there's a way these algorithms seem to listen to what you are saying, that if you talk about shoes, they will bring the advertisement, and before you know it, say, this. So as you are looking at social media, depending on the areas that is catching your attention, you can get used to just window shopping. What's the price of this? Price of that? And before you know it, all right, anxiety is forming. You're already anxious. Okay, how much are they selling this car now? Just checking. Some people have saved over 100 gowns. Screenshot the picture. I'm not saying it's bad, but just small, eh? What the devil, listen to what I'm saying. The most important battle cry of the devil is to get anybody into isolation. That's the most important. That is the most important thing. Get people into isolation. Get them cut off from people. Get them off their normal relationships. Get them off this. Now we are seeing people are dying in their house and they have died for 2 months. Nobody knows because they are not interacting with people. They won't greet their neighbors. And it looks as though the richer you become, the more isolated you become. There's no beauty to any big house if you don't have people inside. There are things that God has provided that they define wealth at this level of wisdom. People, relationships, the fact that we can interact. And let me beg you something. As God lifts you, never throw away human relationship, because there's the tendency to get into isolation because of fear. People will hurt you, but you still need people. You're going to build it. Okay? You are going to build it. In fact, it's now so bad that people want to get married. There's nobody that can be their best man or chief bridesmaid. They call people that they have no emotional connection to and say, can you help? So I can help. Build relationships, quality ones. People you can laugh together, play together, cry together, love God together. Is that okay now? And sometimes they may not understand your reality, but it does not change the fact that you need them. That's the fact. Okay? Very important. So the most important battle cry of the devil is to get a person into isolation. Most display of addictions happens in isolation. Nobody just owns a laptop. Oh yeah, put a laptop here, start playing pornography. Nobody will do it. He will not have erection. Because sin repels light. It happens in the dark. You are hooked on pornography, you will notice you always off light. And look at the way we are looking now. The people in Sphere of Light Church fell from heaven. Maybe this message, I'm even teaching it. How will I be teaching people who are this Holy Ghost field about addiction? They don't understand what I'm saying. But I will teach it. Because people don't look like what they are going through. And you don't have to look like it. Trying to look like your problem is a sign of low self-esteem. We are trying to call attention that I'm not as important as you think, but you are important. Okay? Very important. So people form addiction at their lowest moment. What the devil does is to get into isolation, then give you a toy. That's what he likes. Get into isolation and then give you a toy. Are you aware that flirting is an addiction? Just randomly telling girls that you look amazing. Randomly. Random sampling. We don't talk about these things in church because people don't look like it in suit, but I will talk about it. Just like to take girls high, then disappear. He will just get missing in their life. He's calling. He will do that for like 2 weeks. Just once he sees that, okay, then disappear. He's no longer talking to her again. He's moved to another girl. Wow, you know I love the gown you wore to church today. It's so gorgeous. He has all these sweet words. He doesn't like her. He's just used to raising their dopamine. That's who he is. And he doesn't even know that what he's doing is bad. He doesn't know. It gets to a point that you know, it becomes wickedness. Because you are not going to browse the site, you keep hanging around it. And the girls are keeping seat. Only for you not to go and sit down. I'm saying, no, we need to talk about the issue of flirting. I say it can be an addiction. Always commenting under the post of fine girls. You are the most beautiful girl I've seen today. Always. If you check 5 posts, he's liking them, all the fine girls, and say, I just love the beauty of creation. A tree is not part of creation, my brother. Did God not make the birds of the air? There's toxic admiration. Toxic admiration. There's toxic admiration. Okay? I don't know if girls flirt with boys, but okay, somebody sent me a message. Somebody sent me a message on Instagram and say, I just like you. Can I take you on a local dish date? Hey? I say, Egbami. All of the work in front of me, this is what you are sending. I just screenshot the thing and forwarded to my wife. See, somebody likes your husband. In case the girl is here, I've reported you. Because these things thrive when you keep quiet. Yes. Somebody likes you as a married man, tell your wife. The day you tell your wife, that's the day it dies. Women and territory, they will keep you safe. Your wife will just come to the office at the time that secretary is trying to serve tea and say, can you excuse us? The owner is here.
Yes, sir.
Nothing is more humbling like when the wife of a man shows up and send all the crushes out. Can you please excuse us? I want to talk to my husband. Don't colonize your wife. You'll be a wall without defense. Don't colonize your wife. Don't colonize your wife. You know, I said it that don't marry a man whose phone you can't check. I sell people, Nigerians. Okay, no problem. What is even shocking was that women were also hating the statement because they were raised in abuse. There's a way, see, there's a way abuse can school you that you can't do life without it. At the peak of abuse, you fall in love with your abuser. Are you following what I'm saying? That's the truth. The moment there's something to not to check, then another world is building. It will destroy the home. It will. It doesn't matter how innocent it is. I tell myself, all the things that God wants me to enjoy in a woman is in my wife. Period. Any other thing is vain imagination. Period. That's the fact. You don't seem to like that statement. You are quiet. Men, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Or you have left the WhatsApp group? So when people go through pain, the devil uses that pain to lure them into his own world. It gives them a form of escape that will become a slave master. A form of escape. Number 3, addictions are formed sometimes through curiosity. Curiosity. I want to know what this feels like. Those who are addicted to alcohol were not born like that. It started from sending them to return bottles and then drinking what is left. That was how I had my first taste of Gouda. It was one Egmadugo that said, return the bottle. I said, these thing people are drinking, let me check. I drank, I said, it is bitter. Say, no, maybe it's not bitter. Let me go to one cup. Maybe it's this one that is bitter. That's how you will go. The bitter thing will now become sweet. I know we have defense that the Bible didn't actually say that you should not drink alcohol. Today is not the day. I'm going to come to that subject. Okay? In fact, I'm not going to tell you whether it's good or bad. I'll just show you the effect across scriptures. If you like it, copy and paste. Just very simple. Okay? People form addiction through curiosity. At some point, you wanted to know what it feels like to talk to a girl. Then you want to know what it feels like to touch a girl. Okay? One time I wanted to know what it feels like to kiss a girl. So there's one girl in church, always talking, always going home. I've seen things in this life. So I will stand in front of the mirror and practice. Okay, so after we have talked, we talk. Instead of me to go to my house, I will trek. Like you are trekking from here to central area. You trek and just be gisting. Yeah, gist. So I practiced how I would do it. I would hold her hands, I would look at her and kiss the girl. So that was exactly what I did. We just left church. I've not gotten home. I have done it. Then I was so happy that, see, this was it feels like, okay. Then of course you now enter into buyer's remorse. That is not really just there. As I left the girl, she said, bye bye, say you too, bye bye. See you some other time. She will like it. I now discovered that the car that was parked in front is my dad's car. The moment we were done with him, he just moved and left and went home. Hey. So I got home and I saw him sitting down watching news. He said, Femi, how's church? I just said in my mind, see, if you will rebuke me, do it. Don't stress me. So I said, church was fine. I said, hey, yes. It was really fine. I said, yes. Said, wow. Oh, you came late. I said, actually, said, okay. Go inside now. Till today, we have not talked about we have not talked about the matter. Curiosity. And people go on a journey where there's no return. Curiosity.